Well, here I am again. I'm having to fit everything into the early morning because I have some other things I need to do today. But I told you I would get back with you on the reasons why my clients and other people that I have spoken to about my healthy lifestyle program want to lose weight or get healthy. And yesterday I shared with you a bunch of actual physical reasons that people wanted to get healthy or lose weight. Of course, losing weight is, for so many of us, the first step on a good health journey. So I said that I would share today emotionally related reasons. So this is not all of them, but this is just some that actual people have shared with me. Okay, and some of them include, when I say emotional reasons, things that mean something to them personally. For example, this lady says she's bigger than she wants to be, and she feels that she would be taken more seriously, especially just in life, but especially in business, if she wasn't so big. Isn't that interesting? Has a lot to do with self-image, doesn't it? More self-confident. Oh, golly, that's one that I hear so often. Okay. Wants to be a good example for her students. This is a teacher. Actually, I believe that this was a physical education teacher who was kind of overweight, and she wanted to be a better example for her students. This is something that meant something to her. A lot of people have shared with me they wanted to set a better example for their children, so their children would not end up growing up with the same poor eating habits that the parents grew up with. Okay, wants to feel better about themselves. That's such a common one, isn't it? You know, I talk to people and they say, well, you know, carrying excess weight's bad for your health, so I want to lose weight. I said, well, what impact does that have on you on a daily basis? And if we talk enough, sooner or later, everybody comes down to this reason. I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. Can you relate to any of this? Okay. Anxiety. Do you know, carrying around excess weight, I think more so for women, because fat tends to store estrogen and that can stimulate a lot of emotions. People carrying excess weight have more anxiety and depression. And it's not just a psychological thing, but it actually is physiological, like with women, you know, with the more estrogen that's stored in the more fat cells. Okay. I want to be able to finally stick to something. You know, it's interesting, but I've had some people share with me that they just have trouble sticking with things in their lives, and they felt, and rightly so, it actually worked, that the program that I offer helps you do that because you have a health coach. You've got a supportive community to encourage you. Oh, it's so much easier to stick with something, isn't it, when there's other people around you doing the same thing, who have the same mentality, the same goals. Let's see what else. Somebody wants to boost their spirits. I want to look at myself in a different way, in a more positive way. You know, I'm not dissing people who are overweight, not at all. I was overweight most of my life, very overweight. But it is true that if you can take off some of that excess weight, life is a lot here. Oh, here, it's back on. Sorry, my internet is going in and out. Whenever it rains, that happens, and it poured yesterday. Well, anyway, so want to feel better about myself and my life. I'm an emotional eater, and I usually eat junk food. How many people do that? They look to food to feel better instead of to inner things that will actually make them feel better. Okay, I want my husband to be proud of me. Okay, want to feel better about myself. That's, yeah, so that's a recurring theme. I have low self-confidence. Here's what I want my kids to be proud of me. Somebody with teenage children, and she wants her kids to be proud of her. Feel better about myself. Oh, this person dreads going into work every day because they just feel so uncomfortable because of their size, physically uncomfortable, and, you know, the way they feel people look at them. Okay, I want to feel good in my own skin. I feel bad about myself. A lot of people do not like having the internet off again. Are you one of those people who doesn't like being in pictures, or who strategically places a child or, you know, a piece of furniture or somebody else in front of you so all of you won't show in the picture? Okay, I stress eat. I want peace of mind with my health and how I feel about myself. Peace of mind, so important. And you know, if you are overweight, it's hard to have peace of mind, because you know that overweight, especially the more years that you carry it and the older you are, leads to health and medical problems. Okay, this person wants to not be embarrassed about her looks. Now, you know, she could work on being proud of herself no matter what, but wouldn't it be easier if she could take off the excess weight with a program like ours, where she would have a coach to walk with her who's been that way before, if she would have encouragement from a like-minded community, if she would be learning to replace the habits that caused her to gain the weight with habits that will keep her healthy for the rest of her life. You know, really, the program that I offer, it's not a weight loss program. It's a personal development program with a weight loss component. You know, because the weight is something that's so obvious, the change in weight that people experience. People talk about that all the time, but really, when you're overweight and when you learn to take it off and keep it off, 95% of that change is happening in the 6 inches between your ears. Yep, personal development. So just reading a few more. Wants a feeling of well-being. This person is an unaware eater. In other words, they're just there putting food into their mouths. How many moms of young kids will eat their leftovers? You know, easier to clean it up if they're not throwing away food or scraping it down the disposal or something. Or they sit in front of the TV or read a book. Right? Okay, emotional eating. Oh, needs accountability. This person wants to take off excess weight, but knows that it's really hard to do if you're not accountable to somebody. And that's where a health coach helps you and a supportive community helps you. This lady wants to feel more sexy. And, you know, it's interesting because I don't want to go too much into it, but a lot of people, you'd be surprised, they share with me, I don't take my clothes off at night. You know, these are married people, unless the lights are out, because they're embarrassed about how they look. I mean, that just puts up a barrier in your relationship with your spouse. It's kind of sad, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I wanted to share these things with you. Can you relate with any of them? You know? Do you not like being in pictures? I'm good with being in pictures. Because almost 3 years ago, I started on this same program that I now coach, and it's changed my life. Get in touch if you're interested, for you or for someone else, and let's talk about it, okay? Just talk.